Hello everybody, I'm back with another quick video today. This is going to be another 2024 election prediction. If you guys have any ideas for videos, please let me know in the comments below. I'm always interested in hearing what your ideas are, so don't be afraid to leave a suggestion below. But I'm going to be doing another election prediction today. Obviously, we are still over a year out from the 2022 midterm elections, and over 3 years out from 2024 general election, but let's do a general election prediction today. This is between Candace Owens and Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. I do think that Owens would do better than Cortez. I'm not saying she'll win or not, but I do think Owens will do better than other Republicans. Cortez worse than other Democrats. That's just my personal opinion based on how they're perceived in their party. But let's start with Ocasio Cortez. I do think the West Coast will be safe for her. I'm going to leave Illinois out of it. I still think Illinois may be a bit harder to get. I'm going to leave Connecticut and New Jersey out. I'm going to leave Delaware out as well. And Maryland and D.C. Remember, we're talking about AOC, highly divisive figure, and somebody who is openly socialist and openly more to the left, and that will hurt her with the rest of America, in my mind. And Candace Owens, obviously, more to the right, more conservative, but I really don't think that there is that much of a worried about that than there is about what AOC represents, and obviously a black female that will help her in suburban areas, help her in blacker areas, and I do think that she will. It actually will be hard between her and AOC because AOC does have a bit of a whatever you call it, a bit of a I don't know a large base of support, and I do think she'll do well in the black communities, and I think Candace Owens would do better for Republicans, at least not well like 50-50, but like for Republicans she'll do fine there. But, I still think it's going to be harder for her to win those, obviously, as a Republican. You shouldn't hope that she's going to get like 40% of the black vote. Maybe like even 10, not 10, or maybe like 15% would be something that she could possibly get against AOC. But AOC obviously still has very large sway there. But let's go with the Candace Owens safe states for Republicans, not Arizona. I did not need to click that. To click Utah. The Mormons would be voting for Candace Owens. But I do think she'll do very well in the suburban communities. I don't think that suburban women particularly fond of people like OC, Bernie Sanders, and I do think that they would actually vote for somebody like Candace Owens. I think that she would help, I guess, ease their fears. But anyway, let's get to the likely Democrat states. Don't want to spend too much time on the other stuff. I'm going to say Delaware and New Jersey are likely. I'm not going to include Connecticut yet, and I'm going to include Illinois as a likely Democrat state. Actually, I'm not going to include Connecticut. I'll include Illinois, though, as a likely Democrat state. And I'm going to include Colorado as a likely Democrat state. Colorado before Connecticut and Virginia and New Mexico. Maybe a bit surprising, but with the trends and the way that the demographics of each state, they still have their own personal identity, each state. Even with the increase, globalization and increase in technology, states do still have somewhat of an identity. Colorado, much more, I guess in the sense, legalized marijuana, more libertarian. And I do think that has an AOC support there rather than New Mexico, which is actually a bit more in values conservative. But anyway, let's get to likely Republican states. That'll be Iowa and Ohio and Maine 2nd Congressional District. Those will be the likely states. I see Owens winning there pretty much anywhere from 5 to 10 points. I wouldn't be able to pinpoint anything specifically. But an lean state, Connecticut, Minnesota. I'm not going to include Minnesota yet, sorry. Connecticut, New Mexico, Virginia still would be lean, but they would be much closer, 1 to 5%. And that's about it for lean states. Anyway, let's get to Candace Owens, lean states. That'll be North Carolina, Florida, Wisconsin, and Georgia. I think that she would win back Georgia. Actually, I'm going to include Pennsylvania, and Michigan for that matter. I think that Candace Owens, I'm not going to include Michigan. I think Candace Owens would be able to win back Georgia. With the black vote, that does have a highly black population. Cortez still has that support there, but Owens will do well in suburban counties as well, which there are a lot of in Georgia and North Carolina. And I do think she'll be able to win back there. And the Rust Belt, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, continue to trend right, as I say in every video. And I think that she'll do well there as well. And I'm also going to include New Hampshire as a leans Republican state in that regard. And Texas, actually. So Candace Owens would win the election, but I'm going to include Texas as well. I just realized how many lean Republican states there are. And that's just, everything shifted a little bit more to the right. Owens, I believe, would be a pretty good candidate for the Republicans, and Cortez would be a pretty bad candidate. So this is definitely more tilted on the bad direction for the Democrats. But anyway, let's get the tilt Democrat states, or at least a few tilt Democrat states. Would be Maine at large. I still think she'd be able to win Maine at large, and Nevada would still be able to win. Nevada will shift over to more tilt Republican states. That would be Michigan, Nebraska second, and Arizona all tilt Republican. And now we're basically just down to Minnesota. This is going to be a very close state. I think that Republicans do have a good shot. Owens definitely has a very good shot. Remember, Trump brought this down to 1.5% against Hillary Clinton. Biden obviously brought it back up very much in his direction. Now AOC versus Cortez. Cortez versus Owens. I think that Owens would be able to edge Minnesota out with the black support, suburban support, and the industrial worker people that have been shifting more to the Republicans. Owens wins this probably in the biggest possible election win for Republicans. In 2024, 321 electoral votes to the Democrats, I believe 217. But anyway, this is what the new map would look like. It's basically just Owens won everything that Trump won, including Minnesota and New Hampshire from 2016. But anyway, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're at 148 subscribers. Let's get it up to 150. That'd be awesome. And make sure to comment below if you agree or disagree with anything. And of course, make video suggestions. I would love them. But have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.